Hey folks, how's it going? Today we're going to be doing a normal video, no shenanigans, no tomfoolery. We're joined by Hui. She's here, and today we're going to be doing a tier list of rappers, and I'm going to rank them based on how much I would want to hang out with them. Let's get started. S would be definitely hang out. I'd hang out with them tomorrow, cancel all my plans. F is like block list. Don't ever, even message me, ever. So, starting off, we have Kanye West. He is definitely a problematic figure. Don't like him. Gonna put him in F tier. His music is very good, obviously. But, he doesn't like Jewish people, so I don't want to hang out with him. He's just racist. Not a fan of that. So, let's move on. Now we got JPEG Mafia. The thing about him is, I feel like he is way smarter than me, so he would probably want to have some kind of intellectual conversation, and I'm just not ready to have that. I feel like he would be funny, but he's just, something about him, I feel like he would judge me. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in C tier because I don't really dislike him, but I just probably wouldn't hang out with him. Now we got 21 Savage. I feel like he would be a nice, chill fella. Nothing wrong with him. I don't really listen to his music that much, but from what I've heard, it's pretty good. That being said, not that likely. If hypothetically he hit me up and he was like, yo, Isaac, you want to hang out? I'd be like, probably not. You know what I mean? For that reason, I'm going to put him in C tier, but I'm going to put him above JPEG Mafia. Now, next up we have Black Kray, one of my favorite artists of all time. Love him. He's a very chill, down-to-earth guy. I would very much like to hang out with him. For that reason, I'm putting him in S tier. First S, going to Black Kray. Next up, we have Yeat. Yeat is very funny. I've seen interviews with him. He really just kind of messes around. He doesn't really have much of substance, I guess you could say. I like him. His music is pretty okay. Not my favorite. His new album is absolutely insane though. I think I'm gonna put him in B because I don't think I would get along with him that well, but he's still cool. So next up, Ghost Mountain. I'm sure most of you guys know who Ghost Mountain is, but if you don't, he is an ex-collaborator of the rapper Cemetery. They used to be best friends, collaborate on albums all the time. And I would like to hang out with him. I'm going to put him in A tier because he seems like a very down-to-earth guy compared to Cemetery. So for that reason, I would just like to talk to him about Cemetery and just know, what he is like. Next up, we have Tupac. Honestly, don't listen to him. I don't really know anything about him. All I know is that some people might get mad at me if I don't include him. So he's going to go in D tier. I'm not hanging out with him anytime soon. First up, he's passed away, but next up, Juice WRLD. Very nice guy. I'm sure he was sweet, good guy, respect him. Not a huge fan of his music, but I would kick it with Juice. We're putting him in B tier. Xavier Wolf, very intense vibe. He's kind of a stoner type of character. I'm not sure if I would really want to hang out with Xavier. Actually, I think it would be a good time. I think it would be fun. So I'm sure he has some nice cars. He could show me his cars, I'm gonna put him in A tier. Next up, we have High C. He's another underground rapper. Kind of similar popularity to Ghost Mountain. I like him. He makes good music. In terms of how nice he would be or how chill he would be to hang out with, he would intimidate me, that's for sure, but I have nothing against him, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. Acid Soulja, he was one of my favorites a while ago, but definitely not my favorite rapper on this list anymore. His music is very repetitive. He kind of makes similar songs repeatedly. I think my cat wants me to let her out. Let's get back into this. I don't really need the headphones, so I'm just gonna keep them off. So, Acid Soulja, his music is a little bit, it's fine. I like it, but I don't really like it as much as I used to. Another thing about him is he is kind of notorious for beefing with a lot of people on the internet. He disses everybody. He kind of acts like he's better than everybody else. Well, I'm rethinking it. And I think that the whole beefing with everybody kind of thing that he does, where he's like, y'all rappers, blah, 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 blah. I feel like that's kind of a facade, and he just is bitter because of TikTok. Not saying he's on TikTok, but a lot of his fans, I think, are very active on TikTok. Same kind of people that listen to Cemetery, who we'll talk about next, because I just want to get him out of the way, because I don't want to have to keep referencing him. But I would actually put Acid Soulja in A tier, even though I've been trash talking him this entire time. I'm gonna put him above these fellas, just because, honestly, I think behind the mask, mask of just being this intense kind of like gatekeeper of the underground rap scene, he's probably a nice guy. Next up we have Blade. Now, Blade, one of my favorite artists. Definitely, if you haven't listened to him, would recommend. He makes very familiar music. He's a very sweet fella. He saved Young Lean's life. Overall, S tier. Next up, we have Lung Skull. Now, Lung Skull is a rapper that, I'm not quite sure why I included him. He is a younger fella. I think he's about my age, and he makes this kind of hyper pop. I hate using that term because I feel like if he were to ever watch this video, he would be very upset with me calling what he does hyperpop, but it is what it is. I'm gonna put him in B tier because I'm sure he's a sweet fella. Next up we have Babytron. He's hilarious, very funny guy. Would I hang out with him? Yes, and that's why I'm putting him in B tier above Lung Skull. Lil B, one of the most positive, wholesome rappers out there, other than him reposting girls' feet pics on his Instagram. I mean, you do you, Lil B, but I can't say that's my thing. Still, regardless, he's going in A tier or S tier. Oh, I totally forgot I was going to talk about Cemetery next. So Cemetery, there's a lot to be said about him, really. I could do a whole video just talking about this guy. Cemetery, I don't like him. He used to be really cool. He used to make music with Ghost Mountain, but I think he has gotten it in his head that he is the hottest shit in the underground and will be. He's up and coming. That's what everyone was telling him. And I believed he was next up in the game, really. But I think he is not next up anymore. I think I'll do a full video talking about Cemetery in the future, but for now, F tier. Next up, we got Diamonds on My Dick, but he makes music similar to High C. They're in the same collective, or at least they used to be. Diamonds on My Dick was arrested for something. I also believe he's a registered sex offender. I've tried to figure out why or what he did, but I think it had something to do with minors. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him in F tier. I'm sorry. If that's not true, buddy, I mean, the allegations could be false. But, you're on the list. Let's talk about Playboi Carti. Great artist. Makes amazing music. Big fan of his work. Not a big fan of him as a person. He seems kind of like Cemetery almost in that he thinks that he's really mysterious and that he's kind of above the whole rap scene. And I don't really like that vibe. I like artists that are just down to earth, chill people. They make the music that they make, but they don't make too much of a big deal out of it. Like it makes them better than anybody else. I'm gonna put him in D tier. Also, he didn't even show up to his kid's birth, which I know that's a whole meme, oh, Carti narcissist, he's such a savage, but that's not cool. You should come to your child's birth. That's pretty much the bare minimum. It's not like he couldn't afford to fly out. He was literally in Philly playing the PlayStation with Lil Uzi, who I'll talk about next. Lil Uzi, S tier, baby. I love Lil Uzi. Don't even really listen to him. Don't even really like his music, but I like him. You know what? He's a short king. I'm also a short king, and I also didn't realize this, but I'm wearing the Critical outfit today. Gym shorts, white tee. Next thing you know, I'm gonna start fucking sweating and playing World of Warcraft. I don't know if that's what Critical does, but he talks about stuff. I watch his videos sometimes. Anyways, rant over. Lil Uzi seems very chill. I like him a lot. Biggie, gonna put him in the Tupac tier. D, no real reason, but if he was alive right now, he'd be old as hell. I wouldn't hang out with him personally. Seems like a pretty intense fella. Chance the Rapper, chill, very chill. Putting him in A tier. Actually, I'm gonna put him in C tier, because if we're going off the person that he is now, I'd put him in F tier, because he seems really annoying, and he made that horrible album, but maybe he'll redeem himself. I don't even know if he's put anything out. Yeah, The Big Day was his last album, and that wasn't good. And I know I'm not going off music, but I don't know that much about him, and The Big Day was trash, so I'm putting him in C tier. Chief Keef, he's a cool guy. I respect Chief Keef. I respect what he did for his community. Old Block, he made it big. He moved to LA, and then he kind of gave back to his old hood, which I think is very cool. Respect him for doing that. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in A tier. Childish Gambino, I don't know. He's fine, I guess. He's not my favorite rapper out there, but he's a cool guy, I guess. I'll put him in C, just because I don't really care about him that much. Next up, we have Joey. I'm gonna put him for sure in the S tier. Now, here's the thing about Joey. Look, say what you may about his music, but he is one of the most interesting people in the underground right now. And I might get critiqued for this comparison, but he's kind of similar to Cemetery a little bit. in his style. He makes very unique music. However, the reason that he differs so much from Cemetery is he's a chill guy, he's down to earth, he's hilarious. He has a great sense of humor. As you can see from this image, he's funny. And that is why putting him in S tier. Next up, we got 6ix9ine. F. He is super annoying. Need I say more? He's just really annoying. His social media posts and just his personality are so irritating. And the way that he markets himself as like an irritating guy is so frustrating. And I just hate it, and I don't want to interact with him ever. I'm done talking about him. Danny Brown, nice guy. I mean, I've listened to his podcast before. I've listened to interviews with him before. I've listened to his music, and it's good. He's a great artist. But would I hang out with him? No. Here's why. You know, maybe if I had a little bit thicker skin, I might hang out with him. But he seems like he would make a lot of jokes poking fun at your insecurities. Like, he would know what I'm insecure about, and he would target that and make fun of it. I don't know why I get that vibe from him, but I just do. So now we're gonna talk about Drake. You know what? The Drake slander, I'm sick of it. I'm putting him in A tier. Sure, he's kind of like a...
This video is a Pacific Lamprey production.
But so what? That's fine. Nothing wrong with being a fuckboy in 2023, okay? Well, I mean, morally, like, kind of there is, but I like the lifestyle that Drake lives. I think just the luxurious energy that he has would be inviting to me, and I would want to, like, go for a flight on his private jet or something with him. You know, there's people on this list that probably have a bunch of private jets, but none of them really look like they would. But if I saw Drake walking down the street and I didn't even know who he was, I'd be like, that guy is so rich and he lives a life of luxury. Drake probably wakes up every morning and he rubs like avocado oil all over his body, and then he shaves, and then he looks himself in the mirror and he's like, God damn, boy. And then he lines up his beard. Like, I bet Drake is the type of fella to cut his own hair. And I respect that big time. I respect Drake. Next up, we have Earl Sweatshirt. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about it, and I think he would be a nice guy to hang out with, but something about him is just kind of strange. S tier. Eminem, I'm gonna put him in the D tier just because he's so out of touch. He doesn't really know what is going on. I picture this is like the rap scene right here, and he used to be right here, but now Eminem, he's all the way out here, and he's looking in and he's saying, you guys are doing it wrong, and he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So I feel like he would try to complain about my generation, and I don't stand for that, so I'm putting him in D tier. No, I wouldn't hang out with you, Drake. Eminem, I said the wrong thing. Snoop Dogg, chill as hell. Snoop Dogg is like that uncle, the cool uncle, the one that lets you smoke when you're at his house, okay? That's Snoop Dogg, and I don't even smoke. But hey, if Snoop Dogg passed it to me, I couldn't say no. Really, like, I got a drug test coming up in a week. I don't even care, man. I'm taking a puff or two with Snoop Dogg. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Snoop Dogg is that uncle that makes fun of you and says you get no bitches, and then he gives you like $100. Need I say more? Bad Baby? I don't even know why she's on here. And I feel bad because she's the only female rapper on this list. And there's a lot of great female rappers out there. A lot of great female artists. But there's none on this list. And Bad Baby, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't hang out with you. You did make that great song with Lil Yachty, Gucci Flip Flops. But I'm putting her in the F tier because honestly, I already have a girlfriend. Need I say more? Future, I'm gonna say B tier, because I feel like he would give me some good advice, but he would also tell me that I'm broke, probably. He would probably make fun of my financial situation. Like, I'm fine. I'm doing well financially. I mean, I still live with my parents. I'm still in high school, but he would say I'm broke, I think, quite frankly. Mac Miller, instant S tier. I don't even gotta explain it. I love Mac Miller. His music is very good. To me, not good objectively, but I have a soft spot for him. His music just makes me feel like life isn't so bad. It's just that positive energy that I sometimes need, and I respect that. Gucci Mane, I don't even know why I put him on here. I only like one song by him. I don't know anything about him. I'm gonna put him in C tier though, just because he looks cool. Kodak Black, definitely S tier. Top 10 reasons. Number 1, he's from Florida. Number 2, he said I support breast cancer, which is insane. Number 3, in that picture where he says I support breast cancer, he's drinking a pink drink from Starbucks, which is also insane. He has cool grills. I don't really think I need to expand on that anymore. But now, let's talk about Suicide Boys. Definitely a D tier. They kind of have the same stoner vibe of Snoop Dogg and, I don't even remember. Oh, Xavier Wolf. However, I feel like they would pressure me They would try and peer pressure me. And like, smoking with Suicide Boys is not the same as smoking with Snoop Dogg. They would try and get me to take perks or something right after. Suicide Boys and their fans are the type of people that sell vapes and other various nicotine products to middle schoolers. And hey, I like their music, but I'm just saying, as someone who lives in Ohio, a place where for some reason the Suicide Boys fan population is rampant, that's what I've observed at my school. Now let's talk about J. Cole. I'm gonna put him in the F tier. He seems nice, okay? He seems nice, but he would be like, you know that clip of Jaden Smith where he's like, oh, people in my age, blah, 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 blah. Can we talk about the sociological and economic state of the world right now? And you're just like, dude, we were talking about which Avenger would give the best head. Like, what are you talking about right now? I don't want to talk about this. That's the kind of vibes J. Cole gives me. Let's talk about the wage gap. Let's talk about abortion. Let's talk about gerrymandering. Same exact thing with Kendrick. But I'd rank him higher because, like, I like him more. That's literally it. Lil Peep. Lil Peep, I'm gonna put him in A tier. At the very top of A tier. Because I love Lil Peep. And honestly, nothing but respect to him. I think he'd be a really cool and nice guy to hang out with. There's not that much to say. Lil Pump, F tier. He's so annoying. He's not that bad, but god damn, he is fucking annoying. I'm sick of him. He needs to move on. Maybe like 2016 Lil Pump, I'd hang out with him. 2017, he was still in touch with reality. Lil Xan, I guess D tier. No, F tier, because he had that blow up where he pulled a gun on somebody. So for that reason, I'm putting him in F tier. Let's talk about Lil Yachty, and I'm putting him in S tier. I don't even need to explain it. That guy is so chill, so down to earth. Even now, with the fame, the money, the fortune, he's still like 12 years old. Moving on. Let's go talk about Logic now. Logic is a nice guy, okay? I listened to an interview with him the other day, and I was skeptical because I didn't know anything about him. I just knew he was kind of like a preachy, lyrical miracle type rapper. But honestly, he's a very nice guy. I think I'd hang out with him, so I'm gonna put him in A tier. MC Ride, definitely not, but I'll put him in C because I respect him a lot. I would be super intimidated by him, and I just would not be down. ASAP Rocky, B. Nothing really to say about him. I don't really know. I mean, Denzel, he's funny, but I'm gonna put him in C tier because I feel like he'd be a little judgmental. X, D. There's some allegations against him. I think they've been revolted, maybe? I don't know. He's okay, I guess. Space Ghost Perp, automatic F. He is so bizarre. And there's no way I would hang out with him. Lil Ugly Mane, I'm gonna put him in A because I would definitely be intimidated by him. He's my favorite artist of all time. To hang out with him would be a little scary. So that's why I'm just putting him in A and not S. Take K. I'm gonna go with D. He's scary. He scares me. He's in prison right now for murder. His music is fire, but I can't say I would want to hang out with him after what he did to that poor guy that he killed. Tyler, B, I guess. I don't know. He's funny, but it's just like, I don't know. He might be a little egotistical. City Morgue, I'm gonna put them in D tier. They have a very intense vibe about them, and I'm not sure I'd be down to hang out with them. They also seem like they might be a little pretentious. Young Gravy, I'll put him in B, I guess, because I think if I hung out with Young Gravy, I'd be really insecure, because he's just such a handsome fella, and he's so confident, and he's so tall, that I would just like, I don't even know, honestly. But he's funny, man. I mean, he's a chill, down-to-earth guy. Definitely have listened to a lot of interviews with him, whatnot. He seems like a nice fella. So I'm putting him in B. Young Lean, A tier for sure. Or S tier. Sorry, my bad. Love Young Lean. Great musician. And yeah, so this has been 35 minutes of me talking about rappers and if I would hang out with them or not. Shout out to you guys if you watched it this much, all the way to the end. But Jesus Christ, I have to edit this now, and I may not even bother to edit it. So if you're watching this right now, it means that I put several hours into making this stupid fucking video. So yeah, you're welcome.
This video is a Pacific Lamprey production. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more amazing uploads.
Pacific